What's up, geometry? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're looking at our midterm review, so let's go ahead and get into it. Numbers 1a and 1b determine the next number in the sequence. For 1a, the next number is 24 because you're just doubling. And then for b, the next number is 256 because you are squaring. For number 2, use the diagram below to where MQ is equal to 30. So that means the entire thing is equal to 30. MN is 5. MN is equal to NO, so that means it's also 5. And then OP is equal to PQ. So I already know that these two are supposed to be matching, and I'm already taking care of 5, 10. That means I have 20 left over, so in between these, I just need to say that they're 10. So OQ is 10 plus 10, which is 20. PQ is 10. NO is 5. And NP is 15. So now looking at the below statements, which of the following are not true? It should be option 3. NQ is not equal to NP. If you add NQ, 5, 10, and 10, that's 25, where MP is only 20. Point H is between G and I. Draw a diagram and write a segment addition equation to represent the situation. So here is G to I. Your line might look a little better than mine. Point H is between them. So you can say that GH plus HI is equal to GI. Okay. Now, if GH is equal to 8x plus 7, and HI is equal to 3x minus 2, and GI is in total 38, solve for x. So what we would want to do is write an equation. So GH would be 8x plus 7. I'm going to come over here. HI is 3x minus 2, so plus 3x minus 2 is equal to 38. Receive credit by showing your work. 8x and 3x is 11x. 7 minus 2 is 5 equals 38. So now that we have this, we can subtract 5 from both sides. Oh, sorry. Yep, already did that. Minus 5 on both sides. I already subtracted 5. When we do that, we get 11x is equal to 33, so x is equal to 3. So that would be option 1. Finding the midpoint of a segment with endpoints of -7, 3 and 3, -3. Remember, this is where you take your x's, divide them by 2, and your y's, divide them by 2. So I'm going to have -7 plus 3 divided by 2, 3 plus -3 divided by 2. -7 plus 3 is -4 divided by 2 is -2. And then 3 plus -3 is 0. 0 divided by 2 is 0. So my midpoint should be -2, 0. Letter or number 2. Find the coordinates of the other endpoint of a segment with an endpoint of -2, 3, and then the midpoint of 1, 2. So remember, with midpoint, you have your x's being added. So -2 plus question mark divided by 2, 3 plus question mark divided by 2 should be equal to 1, -2. Okay, talking about this, -2 plus what divided by 2 will equal 1. Well, one way we can do that is do 1 times 2. 1 times 2 is 2. So -2 plus what would give us 2? That answer is going to have to be 4, right? So 4 should be our x value, because watch again, -2 plus 4 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Doing the same thing here. 3 plus question mark divided by 2 is -2. So think about this. -2 times 2 is -4. So 3 plus what would give you -4? That one would be equal to -7. Again, you can check it. 3 plus -7 is -4, divided by 2 is -2. So my midpoint, my endpoint is 4, -7. Number 6, AB is bisecting CAD. Find the value of x. So what I'm going to do first is try to add all these together, because AB is the midpoint, so that means 8x minus 20 is equal to 11x, or 1/2 x plus 25. So let's start with that. 8x minus 20 equals 1/2 x plus 25. I'm going to add 20 to both sides. So I get 8x equals 1/2 x plus 45. And then I'm going to subtract 1/2 x from 8. That's 7.5. So I'm going to write 7.5x just for sake of easiness here, or simplicity, is equal to 45. Then we're going to divide 45 by 7.5, and we're getting x equals 6. Two angles are supplementary. One angle has a measure that is 5 less than 4 times the amount of the other. So the other angle we don't know is x, but one angle is 5 less than 4 times the amount. So that'd be 4x minus 5 is equal to 180. What is the measure of the larger angle? So now we're going to combine like terms, figure out what our x is equal to. This would be 5x minus 5 equals 180, or 5x is equal to 185. So x is equal to 37. This is the smaller one. So the bigger one, we would just do 180 minus 37, and we get 143 for the bigger one. Okay, two angles are complementary. One angle has a measure that is twice the other angle. So x plus 2x is equal to 90, or 3x equals 90, which means x is equal to 30. This one is the smaller angle, and that is what we wanted. Chapter 2, what is the inverse of if water is ice, then the water's temperature is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So this inverse should be if water is not ice, then the water's temperature is not 32 degrees. For number 11, what is the converse of if you are hungry, then you did not eat lunch? Converse is Q implying P, so we're just switching it around. If you did not eat lunch, then you are hungry. The last one for this section, what is the contrapositive of if x equals 3, then 5x minus 2 is equal to 13? For that, if 5x does not equal 13, then x does not equal 3. Going on, use the conditional statement, if an angle is acute, then the angle measures 72 to decide which of the following are true. So if an angle is acute, then the angle measures 72 degrees. The statement is true, the converse of the statement is true, or the contrapositive is true. The statement not necessarily could be true, so that one is actually false. Sometimes acute angles could be 71 degrees or 64 degrees. The converse of the statement is true. Remember, converse just means Q implying P. So if an angle measures 72 degrees, then it is acute. That is true. The contrapositive of the statement is true, meaning not Q implies not P. So if the angle is not 72, then the angle is not acute. That one is false. So the only one that is true is statement 2 only. The statement not P implying not R could be the contrapositive of R implying P. So that one was option C. Number 15, which property of equality matches the conditional statement if AB is equal to BC and BC is equal to CD, then AB is equal to CD? This one is the transitive property of equality. That was lesson 2.4. Solving 5x is equal to negative 10, then choose the property that it applies to the required step. That would mean x is equal to negative 2 because we use the division property. 17, which property of equality matches the conditional statement if xy plus ab is equal to 15 and xy is equal to 5, then ab is equal to 10? That would be using the substitution property because it tells you xy is equal to this, so we can substitute 5 and then solve whatever AB would be equal to. The last part would be your proof section. So let's go ahead and look at these. Given that the measure of angle 7 is equal to the measure of angle 8, and the measure of angle 7 is equal to 135 degrees, prove that the measure of angle 9 is 45 degrees. So the statement 1 is always our given. The measure of angle 7 equals measure of angle 8. Okay, but the next part says measure of angle 7 is also equal to 135 degrees. That is also our given. So maybe statement number 3 could be, if 7 is 135 degrees, that means the measure of angle 8 is also 135. So the measure of angle 8 is equal to 135, and that's the definition of a linear pair. Okay. From there, because we have that linear pair, that also means, that was substitution. Because 7 is equal to 8. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. Okay, which means now in statement number 4, angle 8 and angle 9 are linear because that's the linear pair definition. Okay, from there, we can also say that angle 8 and angle 9 are supplementary, which just means that's the definition of a supplementary angle. So therefore, the measure of angle 8 plus the measure of angle 9 is equal to 180. That we can use as substitution, where the measure of angle 8 is equal to that 135. So I'm actually going to put 135 in where that measure of angle 8 was. So this was substitution. Substitute. So that my statement number 7 would be adding or subtracting. So the measure of angle 9 is equal to 45 based on the subtraction property of equality. Okay. Next up, classify the polygon by the number of sides. State whether the polygon is convex or concave. Explain your reasoning. When I looked at these, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6-sided. So this is a hexagon. And it is concave because it's pointing in at angle C. Okay. Now what we're going to do is find the midpoints of the following items, and it's eventually going to ask us the perimeter. So what I'm going to do is fill out the rest of these. A to B is 4, B to C is 2, C to D is 2, D to E is 4, F to E is 3, and I don't know the length of A to F. I do know that A is at 2, 1, and F is at 5, 7. So what I'm going to do is find the midpoint of that by adding my x's, adding my y's, and dividing them by 2. 2 plus 7 divided by 2, 2 plus 5 divided by 2, and 1 plus 7 divided by 2. That is 7 halves plus 8 halves, or midpoint would be 7 halves, 4. If you even wrote 3.5 for 7 halves, that would work. Congruent statements, we have BC is congruent to DC. They're both equal to 2. And then if you go back up here and look, AB and DE are also congruent. So AB congruent to DE. Okay. Then, given that GAF is equal to 115, what is the measure of FAB? So this is GAF. GAF is 115. I would just say 115 subtracting from 180 is 65 degrees. Okay, so that's a linear pair. Last thing is to find the perimeter. The only thing with perimeter is you have to know the distance from A to F. So that's using the distance formula. I'm going to do the distance formula right here because I've got more room up here. That one is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And then finding the square root of that entire amount. Point A again is at 2, 1. So I'm going to say that is 2, 1 for our y, x2, y2. And then F is at 5, 7, x1, y1. 2 minus 5 is 3. 3 squared is 9. 1 minus 7 is 6. 6 squared is 36. So that is the square root of 45. So the perimeter would be the square root of 45, which is, if you give me just a moment, I will calculate that for us. 45 square root is approximately 6.7 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 3 is approximately, well, let's see, let's count the whole numbers first. 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 21.7 units. Okay. And then that concludes our video on our midterm review. Thanks so much for tuning in. Good luck on your midterm. Give this video a thumbs up if it helped you at all, and we'll catch you next time.